Thursday, it's actually the first day of the NFL. So I feel like we're really into the next season now, but we're going to talk about very poor auto privacy, potential strike targets, and the most expensive Toyota.
Everywhere I go, the people really
It ain't a Land Cruiser.
No.
Give you a hint.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm telling you what, there is this special thing. Like today, this morning, I'm running. I went to the gym because now it's like dark in the morning here in Nashville because we're in a weird central time zone. Went to the gym and it's like everything was NFL and who's playing this weekend, who's on the injury list, who's questionable, and all. Like I'm like, just getting excited watching. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing football season. I
love football season. I'm so excited too that we finally caught up. Like DirecTV no longer has a death grip on NFL Sunday Ticket, so there's no longer that scramble of like, how am I going to watch the game today? Thank you.
Wait, where's NFL Sunday Ticket? See, now.
It's YouTube.
Oh,
yeah. So it sounds like we're all getting YouTube premium.
It looks like I'm about to get a YouTube subscription.
Hey, you might be doing no more ads.
See, your ads. This is the kind of gift we give you here at ASOTU.
I'm surprised if Kyle didn't know that. Then there's probably a lot of people that didn't know that. I've been on that train for a while. Hey, we hope you're having a great week so far. We just got back from filming episode 4 of More Than Cars, and let me just say it's going to be a banger. There's trick shots. There's amazing stories throughout the dealership. Kyle and I are downtown handing out cheeseburgers. Kyle's taking basketball shots in high heels. I
got a lot of flack for that one.
It's I don't know if it's flack. This is one of the things I take a lot of pride in, of just like seeding the idea, like – and then watching it happen. Oh, sure, it was my idea. I was like, he'll do it. Kyle's the kid that, like, if you dare him, he was like, oh yeah, oh, watch this.
Watch this.
Granted,
that didn't start till I was in like college, by the way. When I was a kid, I'd have been like, I'd have run all the way inside. When I was in middle school, you just seen my rear end headed out of that place.
but he outperformed what I expected in the high heels. I'll leave it there. Oh, hey, we have a ASOTUCon coming up. Listen, the timer is ticking. We are less than 3 weeks away. Everyone, we're getting so much momentum and inertia around this. ASOTUCon presented by Cars and Stream companies. We want to thank you so much for making this happen. Look, the folks at Cars and Stream, I'm just going to say it. They're thinking and looking over the horizon constantly, which is why they make such great partners for an event like this. Focused on collaboration, focused on spending time together with dealers and practitioners, learning from one another, not just people preaching, this is how you should do it. This is how you should do it. Yes. These are people that are saying, this is how I'm doing it every day. And this is why it's working. Let me hear your problem and maybe I can help you work through it.
You know what I love? I've had multiple conversations with speakers that are on panels or doing mini keynotes that when we ask them to speak, they're kind of like, I don't know if I'm the best one to speak on that.
It's so true.
And here's what's cool about that. I was reflecting on that yesterday because I had another one of those conversations. And the reason is because it's not like everybody has it figured out. So all of these panels and keynotes, yes, there will be people that have said, yes, this is the thing that has gone well, done well, things that I've learned, but that they are still works in progress. Like we're going to see work in progress happening in real time, probably on the panels where people's opinions and ideas are challenged and then new things kind of spring up because the way these people, they're not just resigned to, I've got it all down.
Yes.
And I love that mentality.
Because that's a humble leader. That's a humble learner, understanding. In this industry, right, there's no one size fits all. Doesn't exist. Never, ever, ever will. That's the beauty of it. So go to ASOTUCon.com. Get your tickets now. Check out all the speakers. Click through the different days and stages. See all the sessions. And listen, if you've bought a ticket already, and there are already hundreds of people that are coming, book your hotel room today. Because we have the discounted hotel room block at $175 a night. That's going to go up to like $375 a night the moment the block releases. So please book it today. We want you in the main hotel, and we don't want you paying an extra $200 a night if you don't need to, because Kyle begged, borrowed, and stole to get them to give us a $175 a night deal. You can't get it, but we got it. All right, let's talk about
get into it.
Speaking of stealing.
Stop. Segue.
It's a good segue for number one. I'm feeling like
I
we're gonna
wish
have
this
strong
was
ones
yesterday's story lead, and then yesterday's story lead was today's story lead because they kind of match. So
I know. You know, we were on site. A recent report by the Mozilla Foundation. Yeah, you know, Mozilla Firefox company best known for a very privacy-minded internet browser has labeled modern cars as, we quote, the worst privacy nightmare, highlighting extensive data collection practices from basic to personal information to sensitive data like genetic details. What? I don't know.
what?
There's a couple. Get that record scratch ready, because there could be a couple of those in this story. And okay, so here we're gonna quote from the great article that was posted about this. Is while we were worried that our doorbells and watches that connect to the internet might be spying on us, car brands quietly entered the data business by turning their vehicles into power data gobbling machines, says Mozilla in the report. Like, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
When's I mean, when is the last time when you entered a vehicle and were like, accept the privacy settings on your vehicle?
Yeah, sure.
You don't
whatever.
even have to do that. What?
I know. And you know me, I'm a privacy, like I'm more freaky than you for sure on the privacy side. The study revealed that 92% of automakers provide minimal control over user data, and 84%. So 84% share it with third parties. Well, maybe they're in the data business. All 25 car brands studied, including Ford and Tesla, did not meet Mozilla's privacy standards, collecting what they say is excessive personal data from medical details to driving habits. Notably, Nissan and Kia also collect data on users' sexual activity. I was waiting for that. I don't know how they know. I don't want to know how they know. And also, 37% of mental health apps, which are notoriously bad for data privacy standards, they actually provide better security details than the cars do. So Mozilla spent over 600 hours on the study, which is way more than they usually, because they wanted to be thorough. And it's worth noting that Tesla, where'd they rank on the list? At the bottom. Teslas were the worst at it.
Yikes.
How do we even, I mean, dang, man.
I can't even really unpack this outside of
record scratch.
Oh boy.
This has been a conversation that people in the industry has been having. The Automotive Ventures Fund actually invested in a company that wipes data, right? That wipes data, but what's still happening before the data's wiped, though?
Data, right?
Yeah.
Because so many people connect their Bluetooth, and all of a sudden all of your contacts, all of your cell phone data is just linked to the car. But it's so much deeper. I don't even understand, like, Nissan and Kia collecting data on users' sexual activity. Is that because they're tapping into the apps that are on the phone that are connected via Bluetooth or Apple?
It's gotta be like reading different indicators from apps and this and that and all that.
They're at, like, I mean, just your driving habits alone. If you know where someone is going on a day-to-day basis and that's not protected, this is gonna
Geez, I mean, gosh,
this report has to light a fire under the industry. That's the only way I can see it.
I know it. I mean, the conversation's been coming up. It seems like an ongoing thing. Again, not like when you turn in your car and wipe the data or get out of your rental car. This seems like it's a flow of data, just like when you have Google on your phone or Facebook on your phone. But seems like very much less regulated, or at least less paid attention to than it should be. I think you're right, Kyle. I think this is going to light a major fire.
I'm like, I'm really paying attention to yesterday, the hackathon thing. I'm like, y'all, please solve this. Like, just everyone turn their attention to this.
I think that it seems to me that it's not as much like a hacking thing as much as it is like a data sharing agreement.
Data sharing. Yeah.
And it's just like this new thing that's just producing and capturing all this data that somebody knows. Right. Look, that person's getting a lot of phone calls and email because somebody knows what it's been doing and has probably been selling it to a third party, right? Like within the OEM structure, right? Like their phone calls this morning.
You can ask Brian Kramer. 2 weeks ago, he messaged me something about, I don't know, the Tesla charging connection stuff. Yeah. And I just messaged him back and I said, Tesla is a data company. Prove me wrong. And he said, I can't.
Yes.
And if you know Brian Kramer, you know that's a major statement.
That is Because if he could prove you wrong even a little bit,
he would try.
Or even if it was worth arguing,
he would
throw up a couple contrary points. And he said,
he was just like,
I got nothing. Speaking of getting nothing
and arguing.
That's probably better. Definitely some people are going to get something when this whole thing is over. This is definitely about arguing. In an unprecedented move, the UAW is considering a simultaneous strike against Detroit's Big Three. Hasn't been done in the 88 years of the UAW. The potential action involving nearly 150,000 workers could severely drain the UAW's $825 million strike fund. Strategists debate like the sustainability of a move like this. So basically, they have a strike fund. I didn't know this, but if they go on strike, each union member gets $500 a week, which is substantially less than they're making, I'm sure. And potential health coverage to help them sustain the strike, which is cool. But you know, 825 million goes pretty quickly when you have 150,000 people out.
Paul, 150,000 times 500 is 750 million.
All right, so everybody gets a check.
Everyone gets a week.
Well, that's a great point because that pivots to the other suggested strategy. Striking all three at once doesn't mean all the people at all three. So
it's like the end bottleneck, right?
Here's a quote from Sean Fain, who has obviously been the focus of a lot of our conversations and nationally as well. He says, let me assure you, the VPs, myself and the leadership at this level, the bargaining committees, etc., we understand how to manage this, Fain said in a response to a worker's question during a Facebook live stream. He said, we have a plan, and come September 14th, if these companies don't deliver, they're going to see that plan unfold. I was like, this guy just...
Golly.
You know, the more he starts to like this guy, he's controlled, man. He knows what he's doing. So the strike would likely target key production facilities. So they're calling this bottleneck strike. So it's sounding more like, right, like a very strategic offensive. And, you know, so they're going to be targeting these individuals to get max impact of these bottleneck facilities. So we all have already talked about the potential loss. One interesting point I thought I'd put in here is that Baird Equity Research estimated that a simultaneous strike that lasted for 6 weeks could put 800,000 vehicles at risk. If it goes for 10 weeks, they said the industry is out 1.5 million vehicles.
Goodness. Like, talk about...
We just got
this right here is... Like, I would be paying so much attention to this no matter what manufacturer you're a part of. This is not just about the big three. This is about the used car market over the next 9 months. And if anything happens past 2, 3, 4 weeks, it doesn't even take 800,000 vehicles. It takes 400,000 vehicles to have a massive impact on rental fleets, on used car availability, on leasing, on 3-year leasing that we're running into from post-pandemic changes. All of that changes 9 months and then changes the 3-year horizon on leasing as well. So just watch out for it. It's like, yes, and people have talked about this. We've been through these strikes before. It's just something to be aware of if you're managing your used car inventory and understanding exactly what's going to happen in Q4 and beyond, and how to structure your business so that you can still be successful with waning new car inventory from the major U.S. manufacturers.
It's gonna be a hot September, man. Wonder what we're gonna be talking about at ASOTUCon.
Holy cow! Everybody's gonna be. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna.
Speaking of making it hot. Yes, I knew the segue game was gonna be okay today.
Gonna be on fire.
I just knew it. You can tell at the beginning.
Ready to go. So, not wanting to be left out of the ultra luxe game, Toyota has unveiled a revamped plug-in hybrid version of its prestigious Century model, often dubbed the Rolls-Royce of Japanese cars. And if you haven't seen it, you can take a look on the screen. It basically looks like the Rolls-Royce of Japanese cars.
It looks, yeah. I mean, how would you explain this? This looks like a Rolls-Royce and fill in the blank.
It's like
not like
Challenger.
A Highlander. Kind of looks like
like a beefed up Dodge Challenger mixed with a Rolls-Royce on Toyota
with a softer, curve.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So traditionally reserved for Japan's elite, the $170,000 luxury car,
steel,
known for its classic elegance and superior craftsmanship, will now be offered to a global audience, signaling Toyota's ambitious move into the international luxury market. The interesting thing is they are producing no more than 30 of the new Century models a month. But they're not breaking down like where those cars are going and what country and what region. It seems like they are going to come into the US though at this point. So we'll see, we may see a couple of those vehicles floating around out here. The vehicle, if you're taking a look at it, it's definitely meant for chauffeured passengers. So it
sounds great.
It's not meant for like a daily driver or anything like that.
It
includes features like reclining car seats, rear seats, the ability to join online meetings directly from the back car. It is full on lap of luxury.
It's the reclining seats too are like full lay down with leg support. They look pretty cool. I will say this. How much was the Cadillac Celestiq?
Oh, 320 or
40. Yeah. Like this is like half the price of that. I mean, you think of ultra luxury. So if you think ultra luxury, $170,000 for an SUV like this seems like a really great value. Right. I wonder who's going to sell them, like Toyota dealers, Lexus dealers, both, neither.
I would think Toyota dealers.
You think it doesn't have a Toyota badge on it, but why not? I mean, because it's 170K, maybe. I mean, shoot, if you want a Sequoia right now, you're close.
They're getting close. That's absolutely true. It's unbelievable.
So there's an interesting chart. Do you have it, Nathan, to put up?
I love this.
If you look at the annual growth rate of sales by vehicle price, this is from 2021 to projected through 31. Vehicles less than 80,000 have increased just about 1% growth. Makes sense. 80 to 140,000 are projected to increase 8%. I think that's because a lot of vehicles have just gotten more expensive and broken into that.
Yeah. All your trucks and SUVs are just in that range, right?
The $150,000 to $300,000 range, 10% increase. And then if you bounce up to more than $500,000, that's a 14% increase. So the luxury
just
market,
projecting a lot of that ultra luxury market to come into play in the next 7 to 10 years. That's wild.
And I think this is just, I mean, we're seeing this in real estate. We're seeing the trend in like people are spending money on these extravagant purchases. Brian Ortega weighs in and he says, pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? Look, that's dating you right now. If you know what that commercial is, Brian Ortega, I think you absolutely need to create
you should
that relives this moment.
You have to remake that commercial. Absolutely.
Oh man, I wish we had that to roll because it's one of the best.
Bunch of ultra luxury. We're seeing the market continually press into luxury sales, luxury brands, it's luxury experience. I think the question that was asked on the Wheelhouse last week was, hey, with all these ultra luxury cars coming out with mid-major market players, are they going to be able to compete with the experience side of the game for these ultra luxury players when it comes to service and the way that they care for these customers and lifetime value? I think that's going to be the big trigger point for these manufacturers, understanding how to care for ultra luxury customers when they're not used to it as a brand.
Ooh, we know a few who can pull that off, actually. It's possible for more to pull it off. We hope you have an amazing Thursday. We hope you go to ASOTUcon.com, check out the speakers, get your tickets. We got a lot of collaborating to do.